Well, hey everybody. Welcome back to All Things Jonny. Thanks for joining me. I'm in a bit of a pickle. Yeah, on the second plow job, the poor old plow bit the biscuit. But I got to be transparent with you. This rack right here with the pins that attach to the tractor, to our homemade JDQA, HMJDQA, homemade John Deere quick attach bracket. This is the only thing that Dale and I didn't touch. We didn't do any extra welding on this unit at all. We just bolted it on and went with it. That proved to be wrong. We should have probably taken these off and cleaned them up because, you probably can't tell from here. Maybe I'll do a little zoom up here, but the welds are terrible. And at some point in time, I think a pin fell out of place while I was plowing. And then I went and lifted the loader, and as I lifted it, the plow twisted and broke this right off. So the plan here is to clean all this up and re-weld it onto this bracket. I can see that they didn't even get good penetration originally, so we're going to correct that problem, clean this all up. I'm going to unbolt it from here so I can get it up on the bench and do it comfortably. And I think it's going to come together really quite nicely. You might be thinking, and I know, I hear you, maybe I should go get Dale. But here's the truth of it, folks. If I'm going to learn some of this stuff, I'm going to take some of the stuff that he's taught me and apply it. And what better time to do it than now? It's minus 30 outside. I don't want to drag him out of his nice, comfy house. And I know that there's nothing that I can do that he can't bail me out of with a grinder and a welder. So I'm going to go ahead and try this on my own. So I think that we should get going and get this done, and hopefully we'll be able to mount it right back up on the plow and put the tractor back to use. We're in between snowstorms right now. Let's hope I can get it done quickly, because I'll tell you what, this thing here right now is my favorite piece of equipment. So, all right, let's get going. We've got a little bit of work to do here. We'll start by taking off this bracket right now. So this is the first time that I'm kind of seeing the bracket, in its entirety. Let me just get behind it here so we can point out a couple things. Pretty darn thick. I would say it's might be 3/16, but it might be a quarter, probably 3/16. No, this is 1/4 inch. So 1/4 inch steel all around angle, which is great. 1/4 inch plate. So everything's built really well, but there's a couple of things that are a little bit concerning on this, and this looks like it's all been refabbed here. But these joins right here are not really all that good between this angle and these flats. So I'm going to grind this down. I'm going to kiss all that up. I'm going to cut this one off, grind everything down, make everything nice and smooth. These ones here are great big Gorilla welds. They're obviously arc. Somebody just put the rod right to it. These ones look like they're okay. I mean, they are, again, big, ugly welds. This one, maybe not so much. I don't know if you can see this one, but this one I might grind that off there and put a bead, run a bead in there. It looks like somebody just did this real quick. So we got our work cut out for us here on this one little bracket. So I'm going to get the welder on. I'm going to get my overalls on and get the grinder out, and then I'll start grinding away at this. First, another log on the fire. got that bracket welded back on. And as you can see, I couldn't get it straight, as straight as I could, you know, bending it back into shape. I put it in the vise, applied a little bit of heat, and it did work pretty darn good. But, you know, I don't have a shop press or means of bending big, you know, I don't know what the size steel that is, 5/8. These little brackets are huge. But in any case, it'll do the job for me. Like I said, I have about a 2-inch play between these two brackets, so it doesn't really matter where it lies because it's going right into that toe hook. Those toe hooks that we welded to the front of that bracket. So anyway, I have welded it on. I'm pretty happy with those welds. One of them is actually kind of pretty, and the other one is okay. It's not bad. I'm learning, so I'm trying to do better and better every time I weld. The truth is, I don't weld enough to really make a huge impact in my skill level. But in any case, I am quite confident that that is going to hold better than the first one. I got lots of great penetration on either side. And I hope that it does because, you know, if I have to take it to Dale to get him to help me, you know, reattach this one or modify this in any way, it's going to be a real bugger to grind everything off and get rid of all that weld. But you can see here, I'll just tap on it with a hammer. It is well on there, and we will only really know the strength of it once we hook it up to the plow and use it a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and reassemble this, the entire plow. It's a little cold outside right now, so I'm not sure if I'm going to excuse me, mount it to the bracket or not, but we will see. I'm definitely going to air out the garage because we are full of welding smoke right now. But let's get this reassembled, and maybe we will put it on the tractor, even though it is pretty darn cold out. We'll reassemble this, do a little cleanup, then we'll assess. We'll see what we want to do. Well, I'm glad that that is done. 20 years ago, I was just thinking to myself, if that would have happened to me 20 years ago, anything, a piece of music equipment or, my car or a tool or something that's metal would break like that, that would be the end for me. Like, that would put me right over the edge. I used to, as a kid, my dad had this old utility trailer, and my neighbors, where I grew up, they were into dirt bikes and fabricating, motorcycles and different types of off-road vehicles. And one guy was actually a fabricator, and the other guy was a mechanic. And they were roommates and rented the house next to us. And man, my dad let me go off and buy a grinder, and then I grind down the frame of his trailer. I'm not even sure if I ever finished it. I just can't remember. But I always wanted to get into metal, metal fabrication work and welding and stuff. And the cool thing is as I grew up a little bit, I realized that, hey, you know what? You're naive to think that you can just pick up a whip and start welding. No, some of these people are artists in what they do and have practiced for years and years and years to do the job that they do. And my first time welding, I wasn't using auto darkening. I was frustrated. It was hot. Like, man, and I kind of gave up on it the first try. But then kind of, like when we bought this place and we moved out here doing a little bit more homesteading. Well, if you're out here in the sticks, I mean, we're 30 minutes away from a major city, but if you get something that's broken and you've got the tools, some spare parts, man, like, think like a fabricator, right? Fabricator, nothing's impossible to those guys. So that's kind of where I'm at. Like, the other day when that plow broke, I kind of went inside. I talked to Mrs. A, and I said, well, plow's broken, but no big deal. I'm going to pick one of these evenings and get it done, and it'll be episode 12. I didn't think that I was going to release episode 10 about the plow, and then episode 12 would be the repairing of that plow. But look, at the end of the day, that whole section of the plow is something that Dale and I didn't even touch. I'm not even sure that I remember inspecting it or looking at it. So, kind of jokes on us. But I got it fixed, and I think it's good. Here's the great thing. I did it without Dale, hovering over me to make sure that I'm doing it correctly. Or my dad. My dad worked on the railway, welding and stuff, for 30 years. Neither one of them had to kind of look at me and see what was going on, because I got to try these skills that I'm learning, and you got to try it on your own and see how you do. So we're going to see if this plow stands the test of time now, especially that part of the bracket that I just welded up. And if I need Dale to help me afterwards and fix it, I know that he'll bail me out, which is great. I had a lot of fun with you guys here in this episode, and I appreciate you joining me. Look, I want to tell you something. Click on the like button. Just go ahead and click on the like button. It's the thumbs up thing. Click on that. I got to tell you, the content creators rely on you liking the videos. We rely on you subscribing to our channels, to the bell notifications. There's a computerized algorithm. There's an algorithm going on in the background and on all the layers of YouTube. For those people that have monetized their YouTube channel, they depend on you clicking the like button and the subscribe button. I'm not one of those people, but I generally do appreciate hearing your feedback in the comment section. And I like to see people liking the videos. I like seeing subscribers, and I like interacting with everybody. I've met a lot of great people around the world so far. And I'm having a blast. I'm having a blast with this YouTube channel. And I want to do so much more. And I've got plans. It's crazy. And I hope you can come along with me. So please, click that like button, hit subscribe, and turn that bell notification on so that you know when I'm uploading new content. I've got a problem. Can you tell what the problem is? You got to be able to tell what the problem is. I mean, look at this. Look, just look at this. Like, what's going on? I don't understand. Like, These two toolboxes have been following me around forever. I've always hated it. It's always been garbage. What the hell am I doing here? Well, I'm going to tell you something. I'm changing this. And I'm changing it now. You want to see how I got to this mindset? You come along with me in the next episode. I'm going to show you how I did this and got rid of those two toolboxes that have been plaguing me forever. See you on the next All Things Johnny. Thanks for joining me.